Boom, baby, we're live. Live, all the way live. I'm back. Welcome back to another edition of Imagine Live, Chapter 204. I'm your host, Mike Zeke, coming as always by my good friend Jimmy the High-Flying Hippie. How are we tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. That's right. It's me, the guru of woohoo, back with you-know-who, Mike Zeke, back in the host seat. We are here for Chapter 204. 204 times, Mike Zeke, we have stood on the screen, and we thank you all for tuning in tonight. We are Pennsylvania's longest running weekly professional wrestling program, still airing today. We could not do it without you. Please take a second, like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up on this video. Check out all things social media for Imagine Wrestling. How you been, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Little R&R. Get some time off, but I picked a good show to come back, man. We're 3 days away.
3 days away.
3 days away from the Rail City Rumble. Tickets are still available if you need to get tickets. We got a big show. You know, they say in the biz, the go-home show. Got a lot going on here tonight. The biggest thing we have going on tonight is, from what I understand, other than getting to all the interviews and great things we have to get to, is we have a championship presentation for our tag team champions, the Rad Boys, and our world heavyweight champion, Chris Coleman, who are getting new championship title belts here this evening. So looking forward to having that coming up here in just a little bit. We'll have great interviews. We are going to hear from the real deal Magnus Knox, who will be in our main event for the Imagine Heavyweight Championship. Imagine Live Heavyweight Championship, my fault. A newcomer, Sweet Baby Trey. The Bone Breaker, Bosnian Bone Breaker, Tito Or, Glenn Spector, the Classic Rockers. We're going to hear from the Watch. DC Bentley is also in the house, and he's going to bring his comedic stylings and much more. He'll be handling the interviews here a little bit later this evening, so shout out to DC for being in the house with us tonight. We also have a brand new fan of the week, and finally in the main event, as I had mentioned, Magnus Knox will be getting his Imagine Live Championship title opportunity, albeit in a triple threat match. Also joining him will be the number one contender for the Imagine Heavyweight Championship, the good neighbor John Ross, and they will be taking on the longest reigning Imagine Live Heavyweight Champion of all time, that low life James Ross.
Three of Imagine Wrestling's most interesting personalities are going to clash here tonight for the Imagine Live title. The reign of James Ross has been epic, Mike Z.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's hundreds and hundreds of days into this thing. He's made that title kind of what it means right now. We'll see the newcomer Magnus Knox, fairly fresh around here against the good neighbor.
He's very
John
motivated.
Ross.
Feels that his time is now, and he wants a championship now. So we'll see if he can do that tonight. And hey, who knows?
Who knows?
John can end up with a championship tonight and potentially dethrone our heavyweight champion on Saturday.
My money's on the world greeter, John Ross.
Yeah, the world greeter. I like that. Again, we're just 3 short days away from the Rail City Rumble. Tickets are on sale on the website. If you haven't gotten them, get them now or get them at the door. Don't wait. Oh, while we're at it, I'd like to talk about a good friend of mine who's also in the house we had mentioned earlier, and that's DC Bentley. And if you're looking for high-quality windows and or patio door home investment options within your budget, make sure you call or text my buddy DC Bentley at 814-330-9870 or visit them today at their showroom located at 487 Municipal Drive, Duncansville, PA, 16635. Ask for DC, a.k.a. Jordan Treese, today.
When you invest in your home, you invest in your family. You want to do it with Renewal by Anderson. We thank our sponsors.
This time, I would like to talk a little bit about the Rail City Rumble. I mean, I had 3 days away. I look forward to all of our shows, our anniversary shows, every monthly show we have when we get to go out. But the Royal Rumble is my favorite match, favorite pay-per-view. I look forward, since we've had this since last year, I'm looking forward to this year. It's just like a Royal Rumble. As of right now, we have 27 men that are entering, with more to come, potentially. Just be on the lookout on social media for any other announcements or potentially surprises coming. That's why you don't want to miss the show coming up on Saturday.
And anybody that knows the Rumble match knows the surprises, the returns, all those things are where it's at. And at the Rail City Rumble, anyone can be entered, including this guy. It could be Mike Zeke. It could be Tammy from the concession stands.
Oh,
what about Big
funny.
Mike from over at Merchandise? What about him, huh?
Yeah.
What about Larry Stryker? Anyone can enter in this thing. Maybe John the Ref? Who knows? One of my favorite match types also, 27 men vying for a spot. Someone could go from not having a job here at all to having that heavyweight title. Think about it.
Yeah, man. There's a new entrant every 2 minutes, just like the Rumble match. The only way to be eliminated from the match is to be thrown over the top rope, not underneath, over the top rope.
Have both feet touch the arena
Has to be
floor.
both feet. Has to be both feet.
We will have referees placed outside the ring on both sides of the ring.
Yeah, I believe we had 3 or 4 on the floor last. I imagine we'll have the same, if not more. This is going to be, again, one of the biggest shows we've had this year, and we're only 7 months into the year, Jimmy. So
It's crazy.
Pretty exciting. Also, at this time, I'd like to send our heart-filled well wishes out to a member of our Imagine family, Stacy, who lost her 4-legged companion, Chance, her dog, last night. So, Stacy, from all of us, we love you. You need anything, let us know. We send our condolences and our love to you. Sorry for your loss.
Absolutely.
The fans of Imagine are our lifeblood, and to know that she's hurting and going through that, I've also lost a dog in the past. It's not easy. They're like family. So my heart goes out to you. Stay strong. And as you say, fans of the lifeblood of Imagine Wrestling. With that, I'd like to get to my favorite segment that we have every Wednesday, and that's the Fan of the Week.
gentlemen of the imagination, that was you, and you are us. That was our fan of the week. I am here with the classic rockers, and I'm talking about that freaking fiery flying flower child himself, Jimmy the high-flying hippie, and I'm talking about the rocker Chris Sands. Guys, I got to pose a question to you because you have found a certain synergy, a real camaraderie in one another, but in just 3 short days at the Rail City Rumble on July the 13th, you are going to be in a very adversarial position. What can the imagination expect from both of you?
You know, I won the Rail City Rumble last year, and this year I'm coming back to win it again. I've been under Jimmy's learning tree. I know all about it. So this year, I'm going to win. I am going to become the heavyweight champion. And then we're going to become tag team champions, and then I'm going to be a triple crown champion, Imagine's first.
That's right, the very first in Imagine Wrestling history, a triple crown champion, and a legacy winner of the Rail City Rumble. Jimmy, I can't help but notice you got a little bowed up.
Triple Crown champion, Chris Sands.
Together. Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
All right. There can only be one first Triple Crown champion. It's like there can only be one winner for the Rail City Rumble. See you in there, kid.
Jimmy, like I just said, I've been under your learning tree for a long, long time. And one thing that you've taught me is let the better man win.
All right, a handshake between the classic rockers, Jimmy the high-flying hippie, the rocker Chris Sand, an absolutely incendiary mix of personalities are going to be involved in that July the 13th Rail City Rumble. You are not going to want to miss a second. Get your tickets now. And next, someone who is going to be an entrant in that Rail City Rumble. And last week, we debuted an Imagine Wrestling wrestler. This week's no different. We're going to debut another Imagine Wrestling wrestler. This is Sweet Baby Trey. What an impressive acquisition to the Imagine Wrestling roster. Sweet Baby Trey, I got to ask you, what do you feel your chances are at winning this Rail City Rumble in your Imagine Wrestling debut?
First off, thank you for that introduction. The pleasure's all yours. Why don't we start off by asking me how I got my nickname?
Well, that is...
I thought you'd never ask. Funny story. I actually got that nickname from somebody I know very well. You know her very well, too. It's your mother. Hey, don't feel bad. She's just one of the many, many women that have tried to lasso this wild stallion. This wild stallion is meant to roam free. And he does what he wants, when he wants. And all I want right now is in that Rumble over the weekend. And just like every woman in that audience is going to have her eyes on me, every man in that Rumble better have their eye on me too, because I'm not to be taken lightly. I'm in here, excuse me, a little nervous. I'm in here to make a name for myself, and that's exactly what I plan on doing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the imagination. How about that promo from Sweet Baby Trey, the newest acquisition and newest member of the Imagine Wrestling roster. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the imagination, we are going to turn it over to an interview from the big boss Glenn Spector, the pugilist prophet, the guy who's out to take out everything Kato. Take a look.
It's the B-O-S-S. Boss of professional wrestling, Glenn Spector. Kato, Imagination, Imagine Wrestling. This Saturday, Rail City Rumble. I'm sure all you idiot fans watching this video, you're thinking, the boss has entered the Rail City Rumble. He wants the title shot. You couldn't be farther from correct. I am entering the Rail City Rumble for one reason. Look, troublemakers, we've been chasing titles in imagination for quite some time, and we have been screwed on every level. By who? By Kato. Constantly stacking the deck against us. So here's the thing, Kato. The one thing I know, the only thing I know, is that you're believe me, brother, I am going to find you. And I'm going to take this entire company like I've been promising to do since the first day I set foot in Imagine Wrestling. I'm the best wrestler that ever was. Just ask me. It's not just a promise, Gato. It's also an F-A-K-T fact.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Imagination, that was the pugilist prophet, the big boss Glenn Spector, and the patriarch of the troublemakers, out to end everything Kato, but giving his bold predictions for the Rail City Rumble. And we got a few more bold predictions for that Rail City Rumble just 3 days away on July the 13th. Here is the Watch. Okay, we got the Sideshow Psycho, Malachi Gage.
Casey Bentley. The bill tonight, it did say the Watch, did it not?
It did.
It did. So without further ado, behold.
Wait a second.
Behold, DC, behold. The Watch.
The actual Watch. I'm actually surprised.
The Watch.
Right, I was expecting to see James Ross in tow.
You know what, DC? We'll worry about that later. But the Alpha and I, before we came on camera right here, before we graced you with our presence, we were having a little conversation. A little chit-chat. A little talk, if you will. A little dialogue. little, I'm out of words. But we were talking about the Tag Team Championships.
Okay.
Getting those back around our waist. And we decided, although the Alpha, I would love to walk down the aisle side by side with my comrade, with my tag team partner, with my friend, the Alpha, Rick Matthews. The fastest way to get those tag team championships back around our waist is taking myself and James Ross's rematch clause this Saturday. That's right. In Altoona, Pennsylvania. And me and the Alpha, we had a little chit-chat. And why don't you tell them what you said, Alpha?
So, I'm totally fine with it. You know why? I sat and I thought about it. You know, me and the Psycho here have been one hell of a team for a long time, DC, a long time. The Imagination knows it. They all know it. Everybody in that locker room knows it. But you know what? I have an opportunity myself. You see, this Saturday at the Rail City Rumble, the Alpha, Rick Matthews, gets in there. And it's going to be one by damn one, all night long, DC. Because you're looking at the winner. Now, I don't know if you remember, back in 2022, the Alpha tore his bicep in this very ring, in the dojo, at the very first Rumble. And the best way to erase that memory from my mind is to win it all on Saturday, baby. And you're looking at the guy who's going to do it. So this Saturday, those tag team titles and the Rail City Rumble are for the Watch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Imagination, you heard it here. It is not going to be the Alpha Rick Matthews teaming up with Malachi Gage. It will, in fact, be James Ross to enact their rematch clause this Saturday. The Alpha Rick Matthews is going to throw his hat in the arena of the Rail City Rumble and looks to win the entire thing. And with more predictions on the Rail City Rumble on just 3 days away, July the 13th, we have the unbreakable Tito Or. Back to you.
You see, this Saturday means a hell of a lot more than some of you realize. This Saturday marks 1 year ago, the first ever Rail City Rumble, where I ran out to the roar of the crowd. And just like that, I was sitting on my ass on the outside of the ring. I took a long 6 months off to really think about things, and just felt like I hit rock bottom. I just didn't know if I had what it takes to be a champion. I didn't know if I had what it takes to get the job done. But in January, I walk out and I look at the new Imagine heavyweight champion, Chris Coleman, eye to eye, and challenge him one-on-one. It didn't work out quite that way as I had imagined. After the match, I got beat down, I got stomped on, and the belt that I thought was mine was ripped right out of my hands. But this time, I didn't take any days off. I didn't have any distractions. Yeah, I hit rock bottom again, but I got right back up. And I fought, and I fought, and now we're here. Only a few days left from the second ever Rail City Rumble, where I vow to walk through that apron, into that ring, and eliminate every single man in my way. After I get my hand raised, it's me and you, Coleman, one-on-one. So get ready now and be prepared, because I'm thirsty. And I'm coming for blood, sweat, and tears.
There you have it, man. Rail City Rumble. It's just 3 days. 3 days away, DC. Rail City Rumble.
That's right. You know, Mike, I gotta be honest with you, I always loved Battle Royal matches and Rumble matches. You know why?
Why?
Because what's old is new again. I always loved the wrestling returns. You know, there's nothing like a little bit of a nostalgia to spark up the passion in a wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a little segment, Mike Zeke.
Oh, okay.
I call this 5 wrestling returns that I hope to see at the Rail City Rumble.
Okay. I'm
ready,
I'm
Michael.
excited for this. Yeah, let's hear it.
Return number 1, the out-of-shape, middle-aged wrestlers who do next to nothing in the wrestling ring. That's right, Mike. Remember the golden era when all you needed was those three Bs? Bleached blonde, brown beard, beer belly. To hell with athletic prowess or talent or charisma. All you had to do was be stocky. That's right.
Yeah, okay.
The most devastating thing about these guys are their forearm shots and the result of their stress tests, you know? And I gotta be honest with you, they have traded the hard body for the hard artery. And with these portly pugilists, the only high spot you ever had to worry about was the Irish whip, huh?
Ah.
What do you
okay.
think about it? The middle-aged, out-of-shape wrestler. We bring that back.
Okay.
You ever been in a
Might
locker
see
room with
that.
those guys, Mike?
I feel like I've been in a few, yes.
You know, all old and sad and saggy. I asked Gypsy Joe, I said, what's that between your pecs? He said, it's my belly button. You know what I mean? But you like that? That's right. They're old, they're tan, they're sad, looking like Hulk Hogan, you know?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I like
Hulk
that.
Hogan.
All right, you ready for the next
Yes,
wrestling
let's give me
return?
number 2. Let's hear it.
The next wrestling return that I hope to see in the Rail City Rumble on the 13th is Loverboy Lewis. That's right.
KCW alone,
Get
yes.
ready for bug eyes and buggy whip arms. You know what I'm saying?
I remember Lou.
That hangdog face and that hangdog chest and that hangdog stomach. They should have just called him Hangdog Lewis. But I'm going to tell you, with loving this good, You know what you're going to need, Mike?
What am I gonna need, DC?
A shot of penicillin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really hope gingivitis is not sexually transmitted. You know what I'm saying? This Loverboy Lewis, well, he'll stomp a food stamp in your ass and walk it dry. That's right, Loverboy Lewis. What do you think of that return?
Only if he returns his loo dust.
You know, Lou used to say that phrase. Remember his phrase?
It's been a while,
He used to
DC.
say, "Give me that dollar."
Give me that dollar. I don't remember him saying that, but
Yeah.
I mean, I trust you, so.
Well, now I have no choice. Uncle Sam is the middleman. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah,
what
he is.
Hey, they say, listen, Lou's a great guy, and I'm not picking on him. They say money can't buy you happiness, and Lou can't buy you a damn thing. So that's ironic. You know, I gotta hand it to him. He's never strayed away from his kids despite their constant pleading. You know, Loverboy Lou. Number 3, are you ready?
Yes.
This is the next thing I hope that returns to wrestling in the Rail City Rumble on July the 13th. Locker room hazing. I like a good locker room hazing. You know, the good old days when a hard worker was tempered by some brutal ribbing. You know,
yes.
let's shave off an eyebrow or cut up some tights or the pumanity. You know what I'm saying? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna separate the wheat from the chaff from the wheat, or the wheat from the chaff. Which one?
Chaff from the wheat?
We're gonna separate the chaff from the wheat, the boys from the men, and the emotionally stable from the unbalanced sadistics with some good old-fashioned spirited humiliation, you know?
Spirited hazing.
Now get my bag, you merry wussy! I'm starting right now, you know what I'm saying?
Did you even bring it back?
That's right. I had a lot of good ribs. Did you ever rib somebody?
No, I've never ribbed anybody,
I ribbed
DC.
people. I used to pretend like I was choking on food. It was an old gag. Pot.
That's good. That's a good one, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and you know,
was good.
sometimes I would lace somebody's sandwich with some snails. You know what I'm saying? They'd pick it up.
Snails?
They'd take a bite. I'd say, "Escar got him! Ha! Escar got
Because
him!"
of the snails. That's clever.
All right,
Clever,
are you
DC.
ready for number 4?
Yes. There's 2. There's one after this, right?
That's
Or
right.
5.
There's
All
5.
right. Okay,
This-
let's hear number 4.
Wrestling return that I'd like to see at the Rail City Rumble, the ethnic babyface. Yeah, you don't see them too often anymore. From the motherland, you know, a wrestler that will dazzle you with fancy moves and excite you with exotic energy and confuse you with roughly translated English promos, you know.
Mass confusion.
Second language. His dark skin would lighten the heart of even the most staunch American nationalist. And to the heels, he'd break in your face and turn it into a manicotti with a marinara. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maricotti with a
That's right.
Okay.
That's the ethnic babyface. You know, maybe we have somebody who's, you know, a little bit Italian, a little bit Indian, part Irish, part Chinese. We'll call him Ravioli.
That works.
Ravioli.
Or Heinz 57.
Brr, pot.
A little bit of everything.
No, wait a second. Here's a better one. A feel-good, heroic story about an Italian immigrant who rides a motorcycle and wrecks it and cuts his foot off, a la Kerry Von Erich, and puts
Yeah.
a prosthetic foot on, but wrestles, you know, despite all that adversity. We call him Roberto. Roberto. All right.
That's good.
And finally, number 5.
Number 5, ladies and
of
gentlemen.
The, wrestling returns, the heavy-duty, hard-partying days of the past. I'd really like that if they came back.
Yeah, I remember
You know,
those days.
Yeah, the good old days of decadence. You know, when the beer crow ended at the ring, and directly after a tour of the United States, you needed a tour of the detoxification unit, and the biggest work in wrestling was the marriages. You know what I'm saying? I miss those good old days. You know, if you think these guys' bodies were black and blue, you haven't seen their livers. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
The hard partying good old days. You know, they say that there's no such thing as a problem. There's only a such thing as a solution. There was a lot of guys in the 80s that had a drinking solution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
That's why I only hang out with heel wrestlers, because they understand a good old cheap shot. You know, Nothing better than a cheap shot.
Nothing better than a cheap shot.
I'm actually glad. We'll get it started early. I'm actually glad
All right.
that we're going to bring partying back to the wrestling locker room because
Okay.
I'm tired of being the only drunk person at the party.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I almost ruined my 5-year-old's birthday party.
How?
What I'm going to tell him his surprise is a dad that curses out of control and pees himself from time to time. You know, listen, I told myself I wouldn't drink and then I thought about it. Why would I listen to a short, bald alcoholic who talks to himself? That makes no sense at all. You know, this is why I only hang out with Jimmy the high-flying hippie. You know,
That's
he
fair,
keeps me
yeah.
on the level. You know, last week he sold me his wrestling boots because, you know, he doesn't wear wrestling boots because
Yeah.
he sold them to me. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping over him for a week.
What to find out? You have to ask him. Yeah, I got that.
And that was 5 wrestling returns that I would hope to see at this year's 2024 Rail City Rumble. Tickets available now. That is July the 13th. Pick them up while they're hot. They're not going to last long, Michael.
No, they're not. They're not. So what's the over-under on the 5? How many do you think we see?
Well, maybe 1.
Okay.
But chances are none.
Okay, well, I appreciate you stepping in here.
Thank
This
you.
was fun. Thank you very much.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, man, I'll see you in 3 days. Bring my broadcast colleague back in here. Well, that was something.
Yeah. How was that to get through?
That was great.
Oh, why is this mic so shorter now? There we
I don't
go.
know. It's certainly interesting. I want to thank DC Bentley again for letting me be a part of that. That was tremendous. But as he was saying, you know, we again 3 days away. 3 days away. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that he also can get you high quality windows and or patio door home investment options within your budget. So if you're looking for those options, contact DC Bentley of Renewal by Anderson at 814-330-9870. And I believe he flashed his phone last week, so text him, call him, get new windows. It's hot. You've seen me do this 5 times tonight. It's hot. Get new windows. Keep your AC in.
We thank our sponsors as always. When you invest in your home, you invest in your family with Renewal by Anderson. And Renewal by Anderson has been a great friend and family of Imagine Wrestling, as are you for tuning in tonight. I want you to take a second, hit subscribe on this video, hit that big thumbs up, hit that notification bell, check out all things Imagine Wrestling on social media. Like Mike Zeke said, we're just 3 days out from the big one, the Rail City Rumble. You never know what's going to happen. The only way to see it is to see it live, to be there in person. Tickets still available at the website. That's www.imaginewrestling.com. If you're unable to be there, you can subscribe for our membership program right here on YouTube for $9.99 a month, and you can see it as early as Monday. You do not have to miss any part of the action here with Imagine Wrestling. We thank you for tuning in and being part of the imagination.
Yeah, if you can't be there Saturday, like he said, sign up for the subscription service. That way you don't miss any of the action if you can't make it out on a Saturday. But as he says, best time to see it, and the only way to see it is live and in person.
Absolutely.
Well, buddy, it's been a great show coming back. We got a pretty big matchup here on the horizon here. So
We do.
I'd like to send it up to the ring and send it up to DC Bentley, who's going to be interviewing the champion ahead of our triple threat match right now.
Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the imagination, I am DC Bentley. I am here with the low-life James Ross, and there is not a person on the Imagine Wrestling roster that has more on his plate than James Ross right now. You are putting your Imagine Live Championship title on the line. You are in a Imagine Championship or Tag Team Championship matchup on the 13th this Saturday, and you are also an entrant in that Rail City Rumble to determine the #1 contender for the Imagine Heavyweight Championship title. What are your thoughts?
Like you said, there's a lot on my plate. You see, just last week, myself and Malachi Gage, we were here, and unfortunately, we suffered a loss of the Tag Team Championships. Do I have time to grieve? No, I don't, because I'm back here 7 days later defending the Imagine Live Heavyweight Championship. And the odds are supposedly stacked against me in triple threat competition. Well, let me tell you a fun factoid. I am undefeated in triple threat matches. In fact, I won my very first Imagine Live Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match when I bested the Rocker Chris Sands and the Sideshow Psycho Malachi Gage back before we were brothers in arms. So do you think I'm intimidated? Do you think I'm threatened?
For 252 consecutive days, I have walked into this building and out of this building with this championship over my shoulder. And tonight is going to be no different. And you mentioned the Rail City Rumble. Although Alpha claims that he's going to win, if I don't win, I hope it's him or I hope it's Malachi Gage. I'm in there too. And there is nobody, and I mean nobody, who I'm not willing to throw over the top if it means that I make it to the top. Again, the Imagine Live World Heavyweight Championship, Imagine Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, shut your mouth. The Imagine Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship is going to stay in the Watch. And it's going to come at the hands of the lowlife James Ross. Whenever I toss 24, 29, I don't know how many people are in this thing. When I toss up,
I believe it's 26 other men.
25, 26, I don't care how many people are in it, because Imagine Wrestling is going to see a new low point when the low life reigns supreme.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the imagination, that was the lowlife James Ross, a member of the Watch, a heavy cross to bear. I'm going to walk right across the ring right now, and I am going to see the real deal, Magnus Knox, who called his shot just like Babe Ruth. He's saying tonight he is going to win the Imagine Live Championship title and then maybe go on to the Rail City Rumble to become the #1 contender to the Heavyweight Championship title. I got to ask you, what are your thoughts tonight and for the 13th?
My thoughts are this exactly. I stepped into this ring, the real deal. I will step out of this ring, the real deal, and the Imagine Live Heavyweight Champion. Because guess what? These three-man scrambles, that's what I do, baby. You know what I have for breakfast every morning? It's funny you mentioned he has a lot on his plate. I have a dozen eggs. You know what I do with them? I scramble them. You know what I do to the guys that step up to me here? I use my Olympic pedigree background and I scramble them. There is not a shot that these men walk out of here with that Imagine Live title. No one is the real deal except for me, because I'm an artist. This is my canvas. These are my paintbrushes. I'm a magician. I do magic in this ring. And these guys, they're scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs don't win championships. Magnus Knox does. Scrambled eggs don't win the Rail City Royal Rumble. Magnus Knox does. And when I win that Rail City Royal Rumble, scrambled eggs doesn't keep that heavyweight championship.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the imagination, there he is. AAU stud, a chef, and a magician. The real deal, Magnus Knox, with some very bold predictions, and now I'm going to get the thoughts and feelings of someone we haven't seen in a long time. This is the good neighbor, John Ross. John, we haven't seen you in quite some time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How you doing? I'm John Ross, the world greeter. Nice.
We actually went to high school together. So.
Oh, we did?
We've met.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Scrambled eggs, whatever my son was talking about. Good neighbors, high school, partying. Yeah, let's have a match.
All right. Unusual sentiment from... Hard-boiled from the good neighbor John Ross, who's got a lot on his plate, maybe just as heavy of a cross to bear as his son, the lowlife James Ross. And I'm going to get out of here. He's going to keep saying strange things to me. Let's get it ready.
Interesting words there from
John
Ross.
Not much to say. And don't forget, after this championship matchup coming up at the end of the show, we're going to have a championship celebration for our tag team champions, the Rad Boys, and our heavyweight champion, Chris Coleman. That's coming up just after this matchup. But it looks like all the men are ready to go. Why don't we send it up to the ring and get this main event started? And introducing first, he is one challenger. He's the real deal, Magnus Knox.
Strange personalities there are around here. There might not be one stranger, Magnus Knox, but he is indeed the real deal.
And their opponent, he is the good neighbor, John Ross.
Holiday sauce. Holiday sauce.
The world greeter, John Ross, maybe the most unorthodox competitor in professional wrestling.
And their opponent, he is the longest reigning and defending Imagine Live heavyweight champion. He's a lowlife, James Ross.
This guy shows no one respect. He's from the gutter and he loves it.
He's a gutter child, if you will.
Triple threat for the Imagine Live title. Your referee is bald.
He's got a little bit back there.
Yeah, looks like a gray squirrel.
Just got to let it go, man. It's that beautiful Imagine Live championship that James Ross has been holding for quite some time. Longest reigning. I mean, can't sleep on this kid, man. He decided to better himself, leave his father, fly away home from the roost, find some friends, and he's been very successful. Even prior to joining the Watch, he's been on one hell of a streak, and it's been a pleasure to watch, quite honestly. He's still a lowlife, but you got to give him credit where credit's due.
We say it week in and week out, whether you agree or disagree, his title reign is what it is, and it has been that long. Harkens back to the memories of guys like Rob Van Dam, the Honky Tonk Man, taking the Intercontinental or television title and making it mean something and making it watchable weekly television that you could not miss.
Just recently, Gunther being the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
Absolutely. James Ross is all of that.
You know, they tend to revere those titles as the Workhorse Championship, and that's what the Workhorse Championship is for our dojo here. Oh my God! We got a cutter out of nowhere on Magnus Knox! James Ross is stunned!
John Ross making a statement right out of the gate, showing off
him out of nowhere. Oh, there he goes, up and over, back in the ring.
Are we looking at a sharper John Ross heading into this world title match?
Jimmy, he's been so calm, cool, and collected the last couple of weeks. I mean, he has the biggest matchup in his career coming up in just 3 short days, and he's in there just putting in the wood, putting in the work. He could end up with 2 championships by Sunday morning.
You hear that impact on that shot, like Zeke. John Ross looking to make an impact here.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that wrist control. Beautiful standing fireman's carry, sending his kid ass over elbow pads onto the mat. Mike Zeke.
Yeah, James Ross tried to get away, but John grabbed him just the last second and brought him right back in, controlling this contest. We haven't seen Magnus Knox since he took that. He's not moving on the outside. I don't know if the referee at any point wants to maybe check on Magnus, but there's a lot of action going on in the ring here, so.
That cutter was as deep as they come, man. He got all of it, that's for certain.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Wow, what a low shot. Big knee lift from John Ross. Looking for the cover. Can he put him away here?
Shades of Mr. Wrestling, too, with that knee lift. Beautifully done. Gut wrench. Oh, and gut wrenching it was, Mike Zeke.
Right to the solar plexus. Got to knock the wind out of you, Jimmy.
Absolutely. You know, as we speak about scrambled eggs and whatnot, he a little bit of eggs right in the breadbasket there, Mike Zeke.
Yeah. Got caught up in that ring skirt. Oh, just choking his dad.
He had a handful of sweater there, I think.
Yeah, he did. Talking an awful lot about eggs here this evening. Big missile drop kick from the low-life James Ross.
Love him or hate him, this kid does it all. Beautifully planted missile drop kick.
See, I just said that. He needed to take a look at Magnus Knox. He looked away for a second, and James Ross was going in for the pin. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head here.
He didn't hold this belt so long by happenstance. This kid's very savvy, just like his father there. It'll be interesting to see here. This is actually Magnus Knox's first 3-way match, so the inexperience coming into play right out of the opening bell.
Yeah, first 3-way match. We'll see if he can get back into this matchup here.
Remember when I was a new wrestler, Mike Zeke, and there was a lot of 3-way matches, and I was the most inexperienced video in there. Not an easy spot to be in.
No.
You know, and then you got John Ross picking you off with one of his favorite maneuvers right out of the opening gun.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, Jimmy! Hair pulling Wednesdays here on Imagine Live, courtesy of that low life, James Ross.
There's no one more hair pulling on a Wednesday than the low life, James Ross.
Now just choking his father.
It's the same as John Ross is what he claims to be, the low life, not claiming to be anything other than just that, a low life, choking the life out of his father.
Yeah, he's not quiet about it, man. He's very upfront about how much of a low-life piece of work he is, I'll say. Piece of work.
John Ross gasping for air in there. You can hear him.
Well, not to mention it's 100 degrees in this building, and he's wrestling in a sweater, so.
Yeah, he's a trooper, man. I said this John Ross, he's a fighter, one of the toughest men I've ever been between those ropes with.
Oh, sliding lariat into the bottom corner there. Yeah.
Coming right out on the floor here in front of us, claiming it to be his show.
Magnus Knox still a little worse for wear on the outside here.
Another drop kick. Always interesting offense out of these Rosses. So interesting to see if they can even predict each other. Their offense is so unorthodox.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it multiple times. Hey, nobody home for James Ross. You know, John Ross taught him everything he knows, but he didn't teach him everything that John knows. And oh, hey, there's Magnus.
Magnus Knox coming back into play.
Oh my God!
Right in the jaw. Did you see that?
What a shot! Oh, but he rolled out of the ring. Smart on his part, but wow!
Oh my! What a bad night for Magnus Knox.
Wow! Oh wait, can John put him away? 1, 2.
Textbook schoolboy there.
Not so fast, my friend. Big high knee from the lowlife James Ross. Followed up with a knee shot right to the forehead.
Beautiful ring placement there.
Man,
near fall.
Magnus Knox took that boot right to the face.
Referee John Williams checking on Magnus
Yeah,
Knox.
try it. And yeah, look. And James Ross, being smart, taking advantage of it. He's had his foot on his windpipe a lot longer than 5 seconds.
Very, very opportunistic, this kid.
Yeah.
And he does it with a sneer on his face, a chip on his shoulder. No one can tell this kid that he's ever going to be anything other
Looking to
than
go
a
high
low
risk.
life.
Looking to go high risk here. We've seen him go here a few times. Big frog splash from the low life. 2. Just a 2 count for that low life James Ross, who looks a little dejected. Maybe not totally, but no, I'm right. He's dejected. I heard him scream.
We're going to see the difference between him and his old man right here.
Yeah.
Where
there's the hair again.
James Ross tends to lose his cool.
Can't lose your cool against somebody like John Ross. Big back body drop. What'd I just say? You can't lose your cool. You can't lose focus. John Ross looking to take advantage here.
He hesitated for 1 second, Mike Zeke, and that opened up that renewal by Anderson window of opportunity.
Yes, it did.
Call renewal by Anderson at 814-330-9870. Ask for Jordan Treese.
You need those high-quality windows and or patio home options. You call DC Bentley.
Just like John Ross needed this window of opportunity right here. Both men to their feet.
Oh, big shot from John. There's Polish shots. Polish power. Shades of Ivan Putski.
Oh, John Ross going to show it. His aerial prowess here, going all the way up to the top
Not
floor.
often does he go to the top here. Big neighbor chop from the top rope.
That's how he trims the hedges right there, Mike Zeke.
Yeah, north-south.
Some highlights, baby!
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy the high life myself. I can relate.
Same. There's a cutter.
Clean in the middle.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Our heavyweight champion's out here. What's he doing?
Chris Coleman's out at ringside.
Come on, man.
Hey, wait. Come on, man. Come on, Chris.
Oh. Wait, what's going on? Wait a minute. Magnus just landed. 1, 2, 3. Magnus Knox is the champion. What just happened, Jimmy?
John Ross lost in the fog of war. Magnus Knox slides in, and we have a new
What just happened?
Imagine Live champion, and that is the real deal Magnus Knox.
DC, was that a 3?
What? I mean, I don't agree with what I just saw there.
Magnus Knox is our new
interference.
Imagine Live heavyweight champion. He pinned James. What's going? DC.
Look at that! You thought that ring was long! You've seen nothing, man! You've seen nothing, man!
Unbelievable.
They're scrambled, baby!
James.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion, Magnus Knox. Imagine Live champion.
Very interesting celebration from Magnus Knox. Unexpected.
Yeah, I'd be upset too. Wow. Well, congratulations to the real deal Magnus Knox. He's our new.
As James Ross destroys our set here. Magnus Knox is still crying in the ring. What an interesting individual.
Yeah, he's crying. He's crying.
Little underhanded, but either way, whether you agree with it or not, Mike Zeke, your new Imagine Live champion, Magnus Knox. Congrats to the real deal. What a year this kid's having.
John
Ross here at the podium.
What happened?
Scrambled.
Chris Coleman clearly had your attention. Man.
John Ross lost in the fog of war. Understandably, the interference of Chris Coleman, the Watch, always coming into play as a group. Mike Zeke.
Dude, Magnus Knox is our Imagine Live champion.
It is. It is. We thank you for tuning in. As we showed you, anything can and probably will happen here.
Wow.
Real briefly, not to toot my own horn here like Magnus Knox, but I've been a tie-dyer for 20 plus years, Mike Zeke. Check out Flying Hippie Tie-Dye on Facebook. All items are hand-tied and dyed by these dye-ridden fingers. Check out my stuff. I take an interesting approach. I was trained 20 years ago by an old hippie, Mike Zeke, on how to do tie-dye. I have an interesting approach to it, and I think anyone will like my stuff, especially my holiday special occasion tie-dyes. Mm-hmm. I can't thank this program enough for allowing me the time to promote my product and promote us also, Imagine Wrestling. And we always thank the imagination for tuning in. Looking at the chat here, it's the usual suspects of DJ Amblicity, IUP fans, Joe Harbula, Alex Slavinsky, Simple Man's Kitchen. Who else we got? Ryan Bartlebaugh, some new faces in here. Gene Corman, yes, I will be your friend, Gene. I will always be a friend of Gene. Victoria Hench, Joyce Beals, we thank you all for tuning in, sticking with us on a very, very hot evening. Tornado watch here in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Things are getting crazier and getting windier in here tonight. We're about to present some title belts.
Yeah,
here,
man.
Mike.
I know you won't toot your own horn, but I will. Tie-dye is fantastic. Buy your hippie tie-dye. Get it at the shows. Hit him up on his social media. But while we're at it, why don't we head up to the ring and get to our championship celebration for our tag team champions right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Imagine Nation, you saw it here. Magnus Knox, the new Imagine Live champion. And a lot more fireworks are going to go off on July the 13th, this Saturday at the Rail City Rumble. But before that, we got a very special treat for you, ladies and gentlemen of the Imagination. We are going to unveil the brand new Imagine Tag Team Championship title. And I welcome to the ring All That Braden Elliott, Bangin' Jake Wiley, the Rad Boys. The Headlock Heartthrob, the Dropkick Kid. Gentlemen, first, it is my absolute honor and privilege to congratulate you on your victory and reclaiming your Tag Team Championship titles last Saturday, but I'm going to ask you for a special favor. Please, place the defunct Tag Team Championship titles here before me so that I might bestow upon you the brand new Imagine Wrestling Tag Team Championship titles.
He wants to keep it.
I don't want to give up.
No, you've got to exchange them. That's how this works, just like currency at the border. You take Canadian currency, you exchange it for something better, which is American currency, you get it.
Jake has never been across the border.
I'm not allowed.
Some fine clubs up that way. But Jake, please, if you would humor me. All right, Jake Wiley submitting his title, Braden Elliott submitting his title, and now it is my honor and my distinct privilege on behalf of Imagine Wrestling Administration to bestow upon you, Jake Wiley, here is your Tag Team Championship title. All That Braden Elliott, here is your Tag Team Championship title. Boys, please enjoy, unveil, and be embraced.
Is there a drum roll?
Ready? On three. Ready?
Yeah.
1.
Oh, look at that. Look at it. Look at it. She's even beautiful. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. Nicole got an upgrade.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Good Zoe. She looks so nice. Oh, look at that. Look at it on my shoulder. Look at it on your shoulder. Oh. Get a room. Ew. Gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? We're 5 times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Grab my leg.
Grab your leg.
Give me the spinneroonie.
You see that? He did a spin around.
I like that, and they're kind of a workout for you, but Rad Boys, I got to bring you back down here to earth. Beautiful Tag Team Championship title. I got to let you know, though, on July the 13th in your matchup against the Watch, which happens to be the lowlife James Ross and the Sideshow Psycho Malachi Gage, there is a stipulation.
Stipulation, he says.
Do tell, please.
So, if you, Bangin' Jake Wiley, all that Braden Elliott, happen to lose, you will not be able to challenge again for the tag team championship titles in the year of 2024.
How many months is that?
Okay, he is catatonic. And if you win, you will never have to face the Watch, James Ross, the Sideshow Psycho, and Malachi Gage as a tag team ever again.
That version of the Watch. Okay.
Well, you know what I gotta say to that? Hell yeah, we'll take on the challenge. I'm sick of wrestling those two. How many times? How many?
It was like Reynoldsville and Sykesville and 2 Wednesdays. Yeah. And now in Altoona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Malachi, he's a clown, and I don't like clowns. They have that nose and So yeah, we'll take on the challenge. When have the Rad Boys ever backed down from the challenge?
It's true. It's true. That's true. You know what, Jake?
What?
You know what? We'll take on the challenge because we're going to defend the brand new. Look at that. Brand new Imagine Wrestling Tag Team titles. It's fitting that we are bestowed the new tag team titles. Can I hold this if you're backing away? How many times, Jake? How many times? Tell him.
5 time! 5 time! 5 time! 5 time! 5 time!
Tag team champions here in Imagine Wrestling. Nothing's gonna change because in the year 2024, the Rad Boys are on top. We will stay on top. And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
What?
We always will be in the house!
Now can you take that?
All right. That was some wound up Rad Boys, Bangin' Jake Wiley, all that Braden Elliott with their new shiny tag team championship titles. And the special stipulation for the 13th, if they lose, they will not be able to challenge again for the tag team titles in 2024. If they win, James Ross and Malachi Gage are completely off the dance card for the rest of their tenure here at Imagine Wrestling. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I have another honor which I am very nervous and quite trepidatious to engage in, and that is to bestow the brand new Imagine Heavyweight Championship title on our championship title holder. And I'm going to ask this man to enter the ring right now. The Norseman, the world beater Chris Coleman, the current heavyweight champion here at Imagine Wrestling, please. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, a man's man. Chris, I'm going to ask you to extend the same courtesy to me that the Rad Boys did. Please place your defunct heavyweight championship title here on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, now that the Imagine Heavyweight Championship title has been retired, it is my distinct honor and privilege to bestow upon the heavyweight champion here at Imagine, the world beater Chris Coleman, the brand new heavyweight championship title.
Finally, a treasure worth a warrior king. I accept my new heavyweight title. Let's talk about warriors. Imagine management has run out of them to push in front of me, only to be broken. I've gone through them all. There's no one left worth fighting. John Ross, I don't know what chance you think you have against me on Saturday night, but it is very... There you are, neighbor. Why don't you join me in the ring and let's discuss.
Wait a second. Now it's the good neighbor John Ross just on the rebound from his multiple man Imagine Live title match. He's obviously not won that matchup and is worse for the wear. Are you sure that you want to... Oh, okay.
Come on in, John. Let's have a discussion, you and I.
Ladies and gentlemen, the good neighbor John Ross.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a good look at this nice belt. You know, got to make sure it matches the sweaters I have, which obviously I'm wearing the wrong color today. You know, I got to switch to blue on Saturday. Yeah, that's nice. What's this one say?
That's as close as you'll get, John. Because let's face facts. All of this nonsense is not going to win you the heavyweight title. If there was ever a warrior's heart in that chest, it is long gone. I told you you'd better find your fangs before Saturday, and I certainly hope you're still looking.
I mean, I have dental care in the Ross family. How would I have fangs? You know what I mean? Like, what's...
Are you deliberately trying to infuriate me? Because this attitude is gone far enough. Now go and find me an actual opponent.
Hey, come on now. Wait. This is not Saturday. This is not the 13th.
Go find me an opponent worth fighting.
Easy. John, are you okay? John? John! Oh! Oh!
You know what, Coleman? Everything that you and everybody else have said about me is true. When I get up in the morning and look in the mirror, I see a man that has lost his son, that has lost his way. So you know what that means? For all your threats of violence, all you've done is pull a gun on an already dying man. So what I want you to do is take it. Put it to my head. Put it to my head, Coleman. Pull the trigger. Click, 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 click. Pull it. Because when you smell the sulfur and look through that hole in my skull, you're going to see everything that everybody else sees. That everybody else sees. When you look through that hole in my skull, you'll see as the last thought leaves my head, if it's the last thing I do, I will use that thought to take this from you.
Bring both of them.
Sorry, I'm flabbergasted here. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say, Jimmy. That was
very, very intense.
Yeah.
Neighbor John Ross. Get your tickets this Saturday.
Yeah.
July 13th. It's World Beater Chris Coleman versus World Greeter, the good neighbor John Ross. A match. It just became a little more intense, Mike Zeke.
Yeah, we got the tag team titles. Rad Boys are taking on the Watch collectively. And if they beat the Sideshow Psycho and James Ross, they no longer have to face them. But if they lose the tag team titles that they just received tonight, they cannot challenge for those titles the rest of 2024. And we can't forget about the Rail City Rumble. 27 men and counting that will be in this Rail City Rumble. Some familiar faces, potentially some surprises, as we've said, it's going to go off the rails. We're just 3 days away. If you haven't gotten your tickets, like Jimmy said, get your tickets now. Don't wait. We'll see you in 3 days. We'll see you there. Don't miss it. See you there.